Hello students, welcome back to Sayyida's English Academy. Students, in the first part of the Cookie Lady, we studied that Babar, a young boy, visits regularly to an old lady, Mrs. Drew's house, who serves him freshly baked cookies, and that the boy is a foodie and he has great liking for cookies. So the lady prepares those cookies just for the boy and she feels very happy whenever boy visits her. So the story ends in the first part. It ends here. Something began to happen because when the boy was reading, the lady was intently looking at the boy, and what did we see there? She was almost trying to get all the energy of the boy. She was sapping all the energy of the boy. The little old lady was beginning to change, her grey wrinkles and lines dimming away. So what happened here, when the lady was intently looking at the boy and was sapping his all energy, then she started feeling a kind of change. What change it was? Her wrinkles were fading, almost diminishing. As she sat in the chair, she was growing younger. Oh my god. The old lady turned younger. The thin, fragile body filling out with youth again. Her thin body became youthful again. Her grey hair thickened and darkened. Color coming to the wispy strands. Even the black color was coming to her grey strands of hair. Her arms filled too. The mottled flesh turning a rich hue as it had been once many years before. Everything, the whole body started changing, not just her hair color, but also she started growing younger. Even her arms were filled with flesh, and she became as young as she was many years before. Mrs. Drew breathed deeply, not opening her eyes. Now she was feeling it. Closing her eyes, she started feeling that youngness flowing her body. She could feel something happening, but she did not know just what. What she was feeling, it must be the youngness she must be feeling, but she herself did not know, because it was usual whenever the boy visited, she used to feel this kind of feeling. Something was going on. She could feel it and it was good. All that she knew, that this feeling was almost good. But what it was, she did not exactly know. Even that good feeling, she did not know. It had happened before, almost every time the boy came and sat by her. Yes, the same thing that I told you. Whenever the boy used to visit, she did the same thing by sitting in a close proximity of the boy. Especially of late, since she had moved her chair nearer to the couch. Especially of late, means recently, what did she do to get more of Babar's energy? She had moved her chair near to the couch. Now, in order to get more of his energy flowing through her body, she had almost got her chair much close to the couch. Then she took a deep breath. How good it felt. So she was feeling very good. The warm fullness, a breath of warmth inside her cold body for the first time in years. So after many years, she had started feeling the warmth and the fullness of her body, that the wrinkled body had again got the flesh, warm flesh, and that her hair has also turned almost very black. In her chair, the little old lady had become a dark-haired matron of perhaps 30. This is important, how she has turned. This old lady, who was almost like dry weeds, has now turned into a matron of 30 years old. A woman with full cheeks and plump arms and legs. Her lips were red again, her neck even a little too fleshy. Oh, the lady seemed to be a kind of vampire who lives on the energy and life force of others, as it had been once in the long forgotten past. So she has become the same young woman that she used to be long forgotten past, means years back. Suddenly the reading stopped. Babar put down his book and stood up. All of a sudden, Babar just stopped reading. I have to go, he said. The boy instantly said that he has to go. Can I take the rest of the cookies with me? And asked the lady to take the rest of the cookies. She blinked, rousing herself. The lady, who was feeling the youngness, by closing her eyes, she blinked when the boy asked to take the rest of the cookies and almost tried to rise herself. The boy was in the kitchen, filling his pockets with cookies, and then the boy went to the kitchen and filled his pocket with cookies. She nodded, dazed, still under the spell. The lady was still feeling the youngness and almost under the same spell of youthfulness. The boy took the last cookies and went across the living room to the door. Now, by taking all the cookies, the boy went to the door to leave. Mrs. Drew stood up. All at once, the warmth left her. As soon as the boy went to the living room and almost about to go, the lady lost her warmth and youthfulness. She felt tired and very dry. Again, she became the same old lady. She caught her breath and got the courage to breathe breathing quickly. Now she was breathing quickly. Looked down at her hands, the hands that were fleshy and mottled, and now when she looked at her hands at this time, they were wrinkled and thin again. Oh, she murmured. Tears blurred her eyes. When she saw herself becoming old again, she felt very bad, and in fact she started crying. It was gone again, as soon as he moved away. So as soon as the boy left the place, the lady started becoming old again. She tottered to the mirror above the mantel and looked at herself. Now, what did she do? The mirror that was placed above the fireplace, she started looking at herself. Old faded eyes stared back. Again she saw her eyes were same, deep set. In a withered face, her face was almost withered like in old dry weeds. Gone, all gone, as soon as the boy had left her side. All the youngness, all the youthfulness was almost gone as soon as the boy left her. I'll see you later, Babbar said. Please, she whispered. Please come back again. Will you come back? Now the lady said, yes, I just wish that you come back again. And she asked the boy, will he come back? Sure, Babbar said listlessly, but the boy seemed to be very listless almost. The steps. In a moment she heard his shoes against the sidewalk. He was gone. Now the boy went. Babbar, you come in here. Maisel stood angrily on the porch. You get in here and sit down at the table. Now Babbar's mother, Maisel, was waiting for him, and she was very angry and shouted at the boy to come and sit down at the table. All right, Babbar came slowly up onto the porch, pushing inside the house. What's the matter with you? She caught his arm. Then holding the boy's arm, the lady asked. Babbar's mother asked, what's wrong with you? What is the matter with you? Where you been? Are you sick? I am tired. Babbar rubbed his forehead. Babbar looked very tired. Whenever he used to return from the old lady, he would feel very tired and almost dried up. So the lady, when Babbar's mother saw him, she asked the reason for his tiredness. He did not answer anything, only he started rubbing his forehead. His father came through the living room with the newspapers in his undershirt. What's the matter? His father, also hearing Maisel's voice, he also came out of the living room and asked what was the matter. He said, look at him, Maisel said, all worn out. What you been doing, Babbar? Then Maisel, pointing towards Babbar, told her husband to see the boy. He looks all worn out, very much dried up or exhausted. What you been doing, Babbar? What were you doing there? He's been visiting that old lady, Rasul said. Can't you tell? He's always washed out after he's been visiting her. Now Rasul answered that he was visiting the old lady and asked the boy to tell his mother. And then he said that whenever he is there, he's always washed out. He always come washed out. What do you go there for, Bab? What goes on? Now the father asked, why does he go there? What is the reason of going to that old lady? Because whenever he comes from there, he is almost washed out and worn out. She gives him cookies, May said. Now the lady started taunting her own boy. You know, how he is about things to eat. Because we know Babbar is a foodie boy. So Maisel said that because the lady gives him cookies, he goes there for those cookies only. And that he is a foodie boy. You know how he is about the things to eat. About foodie things, he is very crazy. He would do anything for a plate of cookies. That means the plate of cookies can make him do anything, can make him go to any extent. Bub, his father said, listen to me. I don't want you hanging around that crazy old lady anymore. Now his father warned him not to go to that old lady, and then he says that the lady is he addresses the old lady to be very crazy and warned the boy not to visit that crazy old lady anymore. Do you hear me? I don't care how many cookies she gives you. You come home too tired. Now the father expressed his concern and said that I don't care no matter she gives you cookies, but whenever you come from her home, you come almost tired. No more of that. So it was almost, he ended his visit. He said that there should be no more visit. You hear me? And again confirmed. Babbar looked down at the floor, leaning against the door. The boy was still leaning against the door because he was not feeling well. His heart beat heavily, labored, almost very tired. I told her I would come back, he muttered in a very low tone. He said that I had promised her to come back. So the boy told that he wanted to go there again because he has promised the lady. You can go once more, May said, going into the dining room, but only once more. Tell her you won't be able to come back again, though. His father, though strictly forbade his visit, but his mother agreed. She said that because you have promised, so you can go there for once only, but that is to be the last visit. And she also says that to tell that old lady that he would never be back again after that visit. He will never come again to her home. You make sure You tell her nice. And also she told her child to tell in a nicer way. Now go upstairs and get washed up, and ask the boy to go up and take a bath. After dinner, better have him lie down, Ralph said. Now his father said that after he takes his dinner, let him sleep. Looking up the stairs, watching Babar climb slowly. When he saw Babar was climbing very slowly, he asked his wife to let him sleep. His hand on the banister. The boy was not able to walk properly and was taking the support of banister. He shook his head. I don't like it, he murmured. I don't want him going there anymore. Again, his father expressed his concern and expressed that he did not want his boy to go there anymore. That means he is not agreeing to the lady's decision. There is something strange about that old lady. And he said that he feels that something is fishy about that old lady, so the boy should not visit there. Well, it will be the last time, May said. But Babar's mother said that it will be the last time, so let him go for one last time. So this discussion stops here. And now you see what happens next. Wednesday was warm and sunny. This is another part almost. Wednesday was warm and sunny. Babar strode along, his hands in his pockets. He stopped in front of McVein's drugstore for a minute. So it was a warm and sunny evening of Wednesday. Babar was almost striding, having his hands in the pockets, and he stopped at a drugstore, looking speculatively at the comic books. So there he was looking at the comic books. At the soda fountain, a woman was drinking a big chocolate soda. Then his sight went to a soda fountain where he saw a woman was drinking a big chocolate soda. The sight of it made Babar's mouth water. Oh, that's it. That settled it. Just to see that woman drinking the big chocolate soda, and as we know, he can do anything for the foodie things, his mouth began to water and that settled him. We can imagine what is settling in his mind. He turned and continued on his way, even increasing his pace a little. So all of a sudden he turned his path and increasing his speed a little. A few minutes later he came up on the grey sagging porch. Yes, again he started moving to the old lady. Grey sagging porch, the same broken steps of the shabby, unpainted house. Rang the bell. Below him, the weeds blew and rustled with the wind. And below that porch, the weeds were still making rustling sound. It was almost 4 o'clock. He could not stay too long, but then it was the last time anyhow. So finally, when his mouth began to water, he could not hold himself, started moving to the old lady, and knowing that it was his last time, the door opened. Mrs. Dew's wrinkled face broke into smiles. The old lady, the wrinkled old lady, started smiling to see the boy. Come in, Bernard. It's good to see you standing there. So she welcomed him again with the same smile. It makes me feel so young again to have you come visit. And then she also says that whenever I see you coming to me, I feel young. The boy is so innocent. He does not know the real motive of the lady, that she has her sinister motives. She becomes young by sapping the boy's energy. So this shows that the lady has, deceptive appearance. She seems to be very kind and very welcoming, but somewhere she is only fulfilling her desire of becoming youthful. He went inside, looking around. I'll start the cookies. The boy, after going inside, he started looking for the cookies, but the lady said, I'll start the cookies. I didn't know if you're coming, because this day the boy had come in an unusual time. She padded into the kitchen. So hurriedly she went to the kitchen. I'll get them started right away. She said that I'm quickly going to start them. You sit down on the couch. By that time you can sit on the couch. Babar went over and sat down. So Babar sat down, waiting for the cookies to be baked. He noticed that the table and lamp were gone. See what the lady has planned. This was the only distance. We remember that table and lamp were the only distance between them, and this time it was also gone. The chair was right up next to the couch. Now the lady's chair was very close to the couch because there was nothing between those things. He was looking at the chair in perplexity. The boy was a little confused, and then he was looking at the chair when Mrs. Dew came rustling back into the room. They are in the oven. Now the lady, after coming to the room, she said that now the cookies are in the oven. I had the batter all ready now. She said that, and I have also prepared the batter for the cookies. She sat down in the chair with a sigh. Well, how did it go today? How was the school? Fine. As usual, Babar gave a very brief reply. She nodded. How plump he was. Now the lady is observing the boy. The little boy is sitting just a little distance from her. This boy now was sitting in a very, just a little distance he was away from the lady. His cheeks red and full. The boy was almost a flabby and a very chubby boy. She could touch him, and the lady was sitting so close that she could almost touch him. He was so close. Her aged heart thumped. To be young again. Why her heart was thumping? Just for the feeling that she is getting youthful again. Youth was so much. It was everything. From here we see the lady's obsession. You can also write down here the important theme of the story, lady's obsession with the youthfulness. So this is another important theme. What did the world mean to the world? Why she is so much obsessed to be youthful? Because she thinks that the world means nothing to the old people when all the world is old, lad. Do you want to read to be Bernard? So thinking all these things in her mind, she asked the boy to read something for her. She asked pleasantly, I didn't bring any book. Now the boy said that today I haven't brought any book because he was not coming from his school. Oh, she nodded. Well, I have some books, she said quickly. I'll get them. Then, in order to make the boy stay to her home for longer, she said that I also have some books, so I will bring one for you. She got up, crossing to the bookcase. As she opened the doors, Bubble said, Mrs. Dew, my father said I cannot come here anymore. He says this is the last time. I thought I would tell you. Now the boy, maintaining his politeness, said that my father has forbidden me to visit this place and said that this is going to be my last time. Finally, he told it to the lady. She stopped, standing rigid. As soon as the lady heard these words that it is the last time of the boy, she almost became confused and became rigid. Everything seemed to leap around her as if everything was spinning around her, the room twisting furiously. She took a harsh, frightened breath. She was almost frightened. Bernard, you're not coming back? No. And she asked, are you not coming back seriously? No, my father says not to. Actually, my father has asked me not to visit anymore. There was silence. The old lady took a book at random and came slowly back to her chair. Then, randomly, she picked any book and came back to her chair. After a while, she passed the book to him and then she gave that book to him. Now she is not interested in anything. Her hands were trembling. Why? Because of the thought that the boy will not come anymore. The boy took it without expression, looking at its cover. The boy was only looking at the cover. Please read, Bernard, please. All right, he opened the book. Where will I start? He asked. Anywhere, Bernard. So the lady doesn't seem to have any concern listening to the boy. So that's why she said that anywhere you can start. He began to read. It was something by Trollope. So the book was almost by Trollope, maybe the writer, a novel by Trollope. She only half heard the words. She put her hand to her forehead. She could not even hear the words that were coming from Bernard. And out of frustration, she put her hand on her forehead. The dry skin, brittle and thin. Her skin was still dry and brittle and thin, just like old paper. This shows that how old she was. She trembled with anguish the last time. The word last time was almost making her tremble with fear and anger. Bubba read on. Bubba continued to read. Slowly, monotonously. The boy had no interest in reading, so monotonously he was reading. Against the window, a fly buzzed. Outside, the sun began to set. It was almost the evening time and the sun was almost setting, the air turning cool. A few clouds came up and the wind in the trees rushed furiously. Even the wind was rushing furiously. The wind is also symbolic to the harshness of the world, how hard the world is to the innocent people. The old lady sat close by the boy, closer than ever, and this time the lady was sitting very close to the boy than ever before. Hearing him read, the sound of his voice, sensing him close by, and she could sense the voice coming from the boy. Was this really the last time? Again the words are running through her mind. Is it the last time? Terror rose up in her heart and she pushed it back. Her heart was almost rising up with terror. The last time, oh my God, she gazed at him and then she started intently looking at the boy, gazing him. The boy sitting so close to her. After a time, she reached out her thin, dry hand, and after a little while, she reached out her hand. She took a deep breath. He would never be back. What is she thinking? Oh, the boy has come for the last time, that he would never be back. There would be no more time, no more. Again, she's thinking, oh, this would be the last time and that the boy would not visit her anymore. This was the last time he would sit here. All these things are just running through her mind. Strange things are coming to her head. She touched his arm and that she could not hold herself back. When she raised her hand, she almost touched the arm of Bubba. Bubba looked up. What is it? He murmured. The boy got startled and asked, what is it? You don't mind if I touch your arm, do you? Then the lady asked, I wish you don't mind if I touch your arm. No, I guess not. He went on reading. The boy almost got frightened, but then he said that, okay, it's okay, and went on reading. The old lady could feel the youngness, but this is the first time the lady could touch the boy. So again, she started feeling the youngness of him flowing between her fingers through her arm. See how intently she used to observe the boy, but this time when she has touched him, the youngness almost started flowing between her fingers through her arm, just by touching. A pulsating, vibrating youngness, so close to her. It had never been that close, because she had never been that close. So what she was feeling, vibrating youngness, where she could actually touch it, because she was in such a close proximity to the boy that she could actually touch it. The feel of life made her dizzy. Oh, she almost became dizzy, unsteady, because the youngness was almost flowing to her body and very speedily. And presently it began to happen as before, and the same thing started happening just like before. She started growing young. Closed her eyes, letting it move over her, filling her up. carried into her by the sound of the voice and feeling the arm. So what she was doing, every word that was coming out from the boy was almost like the energy was being sapped through a conduit or some kind of pipe. The energy was transferring. The change, the flow was coming over her. The warm rising feelings. She was blooming again. Again, the lady had turned out to be very young, filling with life, swelling into richness as she had been once long before, just like she was years before. She looked down at her arms, and then this time she did not close her eyes, rather she started looking at her arms. Rounded they were now. Her arms were almost very round with flesh coming back. Nails clear, her hair black again, heavy and black against her neck. Oh, the hair have almost became very black, dark black. She touched her cheek. When she touched her cheek, the wrinkles had gone, the skin pliant and soft. Her skin was almost very soft. Joy filled her and she became very happy, growling, growing, bursting joy, and this joy was almost bursting out. She started around her at the room, stared around her. And then the lady started staring at herself in the room, smiled, feeling her firm teeth and gums. Almost her teeth were also back and gums almost very firm. Red lips, strong white teeth. Suddenly she got to her feet and then she rose to her feet, stood up, her body secure and confident. She turned a little, quick circle. Then what did she do? After standing up, she turned and then lithe and quick circle. Lithe means very gracefully. She took a round. Baba stopped reading. Baba almost stopped reading. Are the cookies ready? Because the boy's concern is onto the cookies alone. He said, I'll see. Her voice was alive, deep with a quality that had dried out many years before. Now it was there again, her voice, throaty and sensual. So the voice was almost like the voice of a young lady, very throaty and sensual, almost to be felt that way. She walked quickly into the kitchen and opened the oven. She took out the cookies and put them on top of the stove. So what did she do? Quickly she went to the kitchen and brought the cookies for the boy. All ready. She called gaily, come and get them. She said that the cookies are almost ready, you can have them. Babar came past her. His gaze fastened on the sight of the cookies. When the boy looked at the cookies, he started gazing that. He did not even notice the woman by the door. See, the boy was only focused on the cookies, so he did not even notice that the lady has changed. The same lady who was standing by the door when he entered the house, he did not notice that. This shows that how much he was ignorant of his surroundings, and that also shows that he was almost very innocent. Mrs. Dew hurried from the kitchen. She went into the bedroom, closing the door after her. So what did she do? After offering cookies to the boy, she went to her bedroom and closed the door from inside. Then she turned, gazing into the full-length mirror on the door. And then she started looking at herself in the full-length mirror to see her youthfulness. Young she was, young again, filled out with the sap of vigorous youth. And this time, the youthfulness was so vigor. She took a deep breath, her steady bosom swelling. Her eyes flashed, she smiled. She spun, her skirts flying, and she started taking a round, and then her skirt was almost flying. Young and lovely, she was almost young and beautiful again, and this time it had not gone away. Like before, when the lady was away from, even in a little distance, she used to be with the boy, the youngness was almost gone, but this time it was not gone, although she had gone to her bedroom and almost closed the door, but this youngness remained with her. The reason may be that she, for the first time, has touched the boy. Earlier, she only used to concentrate on the boy. Opening the door, Babar had filled his mouth and his pockets. So, what did she notice? Babar was almost filling his mouth and pockets with the cookies. He was standing in the center of the living room, his face fat, dull, and dead white. But what was there? There was a big change. The boy was standing in the living room. His face was fat, but dull, almost like dead white. That means all the energy of the boy was almost sapped by the lady. What is the matter? Mrs. Dew said, I am going. All right, Babar. Earlier, she used to feel bad when the boy said that he is leaving. But this time, she said, all right. And thanks for coming to read to me. And also, she thanked the boy. Laid her hand on his shoulder. Again, she placed her hand on the shoulder. Perhaps I'll see you again sometimes. And then she pretended as if she is wishing for the boy to come back. My father, the boy tried to remind that his father has disallowed him to come. I know. She laughed gaily. And then she was happily laughing, opening the door for him. And this time, she was happily opening the door for the boy by sending him goodbye. Goodbye, Bernard, goodbye. She watched him go slowly down the step, and then she watched that the boy was going very slowly down the steps. One at a time. The boy was not even able to get down the steps quickly. One step he was taking at a time. Then she closed the door and skipped back into the bedroom. Again, she went to the bedroom. She unfastened her dress. Now she started looking at herself by unfastening her dress, removing her clothes, stepped out of it. The worn grey fabric suddenly distasteful to her. The same old fabric was almost not likable for her youthful body. So therefore, she removed that cloth. For a brief second, she gazed at her full rounded body. For a while, she started looking at her youthful body. Her hands on her hips, she laughed with excitement, and then to see her beauty and youthfulness coming back to her, she was laughing almost with excitement. Turning a little, her eyes bright, and this time her eyes were almost very bright. What a wonderful body, bursting with life. Swelling breast, she touched herself, and then almost looking at every part of her body, she started touching and then feeling the kind of excitement. The flesh was firm. There was so many things to do. Now she thought that there is so much to do because she has become young again, that she can do a lot of things. She gazed about her, breathing quickly. Again, she started gazing and then breathing very quickly. So many things. She started the water running in the bathtub and then went to tie her hair up. So what is the first thing she's going to do? She started filling the bathtub to take a bath and then tying her hair up. So this is how the lady had almost sapped the energy of the boy. One chapter ended, and now look at what happened to the boy. The wind blew around him as he trudged home. The boy was almost trudging the home, taking a lot of stress. He's very much stressed and taking heavy steps. He's not able to walk quickly. It was late. The sun had set and the sky overhead was dark and cloudy. Even the weather was not favorable. It was cloudy and dark. The wind that blew and nudged against him was cold. Even the wind was very cold towards him. This is very symbolic that the wind was cold to him. Wind is symbolic to the surroundings. The weather or the surrounding, the people in the world are almost very cold to others. And it penetrated through his clothing, chilling him. And the wind was almost bringing the chilling sensation to the boy. The boy felt tired. His head ached. And he stopped at every few minutes. The boy was unable to move or walk and was stopping at every minute, rubbing his forehead and resting his heart, laboring. His heart was badly laboring and thumping. Somewhere the poor boy did not know what had happened to him. He left M Street and went up Pine Street. Now he was almost close to his own house or the street of his house. The wind screeched. At this time, the wind was making a screeching sound, very unpleasant sound, almost terrifying him, pushing him from side to side. The boy was so tired and so dried up that even the wind was pushing him side to side. He shook his head, trying to clear it. How weary he was. He was very tired, very hectic. How tired his arms and legs were. Even his arms and legs were so tired that he could not even move properly. He felt the wind hammering at him. Even he could feel that the wind was almost hammering his head or his body, pushing and plucking at him. It was almost plucking him from the very root. He took a breath and went on, his head down. Again, taking a breath, he again started moving. His head was almost down. At the corner, he stopped, holding on to a lamppost. Now, finally, he took support of a lamppost that was placed at a corner of the road. That means he is almost unable to raise even a single step. The sky was quite dark. The street lights were beginning to come on. The street lights, because of the darkness, they were almost turned on. At last he went on, walking as best as he could. And finally, after gathering a lot of courage, taking the support of the lamppost, finally he again made a move. Where is that boy? Miss Earl said. His parents are again waiting for the boy, and his mother said, where is the child? Going out on the porch for the 10th time, almost very restless for her child, she went to see the boy for the 10th time. Ralph flicked on the light and they stood together by flicking on the light. Both of them were standing at the porch to see the glimpse of their boy. What an awful wind, and they felt a very chilling wind. The wind whistled and lashed at the porch. Then all of a sudden there came a lashing sound, whistling sound at the porch. When they were in their home, the two of them looked up and down the dark street, but they could see nothing but a few newspapers trash being blown along. But they could not find anything, but they saw only the newspaper trash was blown onto their porch. Let's go inside. And then they went again. Ralph said, he sure is going to get a licking when he gets home. His father is very angry, thinking that he must have gone without informing them, so when he will be back, he will get a licking. He will get a kind of beating. Good beating. They sat down at the dinner table, and finally they sat at the dinner table. Presently, May put down her fork. Bubbles' mother, she could not eat anything. She put down her fork. Listen, do you hear something? Because they heard some kind of noise. Ralph listened outside. Against the front door, there was a faint sound, a tapping sound. He stood up. Some kind of tapping sound was heard. The wind howled outside. Again, the wind was howling, blowing the shades in the room upstairs. I'll go see what it is. So, he said. His father said that he will go and see what noise it was, because they were eagerly waiting for the boy to return. He went to the door and opened it. Again, he went to the door. Something grey. He could not see anything. Something grey and dry was blowing up against the porch. So what did he find? Something grey in color, almost dry, was blowing up against the porch, carried by the wind. And this was blown by the wind here. He stared at it, but he could not make it out. He could not understand what it was. What this grey thing, almost dried grey thing was. It was a bundle of weeds and rags blown by the winds perhaps. Perhaps the wind has brought that weeds and rags alongside. The bundle bounced against his leg, and this bundle of weed and rags was bouncing against his legs, and his father could not understand what it was. He watched it drift past him. Actually, this, let me tell you, this weeds and rags is actually the boy who has been turned into the bundle of weeds and rags. Somehow, with a lot of effort, the boy tried to reach his house, but by that time he had been turned into the bundle of weeds. Therefore, his father could not make out that it was his own boy. Against the wall of the house, then he closed the door again. So not being able to recognize that it was his own boy, he closed the door again slowly. What was it? May called. Just the wind, Ravsel said. Now his father said there was nothing but the wind. That is how the story ends in a suspensive note that even Babbar's father could not recognize him. Because the boy's energy was all sapped, the lady became youthful and energetic, whereas the boy turned into the bundle of weeds and rags just as grown outside the lady's shabby unpainted house. I hope this video will help you understand the story thoroughly. Soon I will be uploading more chapters of ISC, ICSE as well as CBSE. So subscribe to my channel and don't forget to press the like button. Stay tuned for more updates. I will be soon meeting you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye.